because it is unfair. That's why some people believe that communism was better because it's creating equality. The moment you follow capitalism, this thing cannot sustain itself because those who are peasants will rise up. Those people who amenemkuwapondereza amenemulindi chumani azato panani. That's what they do. Azato panani and the government. So they believe capitalism is not sustainable. And that's why they went for command or communism. So you guys, you should, I'm sure, on your own you can also see which system is better. And better in terms of what? What is the basis for calling something better than the other? So, market command. Market command. You are commanding the market. I don't know whether you have read that, where you have read that term, market command. Some people are crazy when they describe these things. Just stick to my description. Otherwise, we will be. The most important way to describe economic system is by looking at the control and ownership of means of production. Okay? Now, there is another one which is somehow in the middle, which is called socialism. Socialism is where it allows both some bit of communism and some bit of capitalism to exist in the same economy. So basically, you allow the private ownership of means of production, but you also allow some of those means of production to be controlled. So in that case, you have both government companies as well as private companies. So you have some buses which are owned by government, bus companies are owned by government, but you also allow some individuals to own bus companies. So to speak. But socialism is about bringing some kind of equality among citizens. So you have a huge government presence in the system to make sure that there is some wealth distribution, where you are allowing a small percentage of private individuals to grow, to own factors of production, to own means of production. So the government part is big. The control Communist Party is big, is bigger than the capitalist party of it. Socialism is about making sure that there is social justice. So you have education for all. You have health for all. You have access to water and things like these social amenities are provided for by government. So you don't like, for example, to have private sector dominance in education, for example. You don't want to have private sector dominance in health. Government will make sure that people have food, people have basic needs, necessities, social amenities are provided by government. So somehow it is in the middle. Because in capitalism you don't care. Those who cannot afford it, maybe you can find a way of helping them. Safety net, what they call safety net, or social security, you can do that. But let the private sector control the market, not the government. Okay? Now, these economic systems, you should also realize that you can discuss them in terms of economics, you can discuss them in terms of politics or administration. If you are studying political science, you will not be explaining the way I'm explaining, even though you are also studying communism, capitalism, and socialism. Because politics is also involved. Because when we are talking about government is politics. So when we say these factors are owned by government, it means now we are entering politics. Even though we want to talk about factors of production, which is economic. Okay? So you find these concepts being discussed in various disciplines, professional disciplines. I'm sure lawyers also have some way they think about government, or historians, or sociologists. So they also study government. So they will also talk about this, but in a very different approach. The approach we are taking here is economic approach. So if you read somewhere, it is saying it in a different way. Just discover what background is it. Is it political science? Is it sociology? Is it philosophy? So these are all disciplines where they talk about these things. Okay? They will talk about maybe social contracts, blah blah. So many things they talk about when it comes to this government systems. We call it, we want to study them as economic systems, as it relates to factors of production. Then there is also what is called fascism. Fascism is basically where people are following a leader. there are some guys who come up in a country or in a society and they become so famous and people start following them as if they were a small gold. This is especially when you have revolution. So you have some people who come up and become so popular that whatever they say, people start following. These are very close to what we call charismatic leaders. But they can occur in a country, in an economy, where they propagate an idea that this is the way we want to develop. Let's all do this. And whether it is capitalism, whether it is socialism, but the economy is being driven by the images of an individual who has come out to be a crowd puller, and people start following him. It's like a fascist state. So, for example, you heard of people like Stalin, Hitler. You know, they started running an economy as if it was a property, as if it is owned by, as if all the means of production are owned by this guy. The guy comes up and starts behaving as if he owns that country, and the people are against. And all the means of production are in his hands. Because for me, when you are talking about my leaders, keeping local leaders, some people become so popular and so strong in their country that they own all the land. And I'm saying, like a king, let's say, which king is very, very powerful? What he got? Was all the land in that country is his, basically. You know, on Rome.
No, this one.
Well, we do all Swaziland. It was
Yeah.
You can have that kind of people where they are the ones who are owning everything. They are owning humanity. The people in there they owe their allegiance to the king. The land is all for the king. Everything is for the king or for that leader. It may not be a government, it might just be a traditional system. Or it can be a cultural system. Okay? It's very rare though. So we have types of economic systems. Okay? You have capitalism there. Okay? You have socialism. then you have communism here. And you have fascism. You have those four, but some people add more things. Okay? Very similar to this is what they call traditional system. It's very similar to fascism because traditional system is basically all the means of production are run according to tradition. Okay, the amfumu, if you want the land, it depends on the tradition one of them. The tradition governs the ownership and control of factors of production. Your tradition. Your culture. And this traditional system sometimes can be hit with some modern aspects. Simply, kama traditional, imamo kara purely traditional. But if ababa is very pure, of these systems that we have, there is nothing which is pure, good 100% in Java. There are always mixtures in any of those. You always have some drops of dirt. You don't have a pure, always have some influence of something else. So even in traditional economy, for example, even here in Malawi, when we want to say, okay, there is an advanced system and then the traditional system, you find that the tradition has some influx of technology and advancement in there. You don't have a pure traditional economy. But the idea is that the traditions govern the ownership of means of production. Tradition, culture, or whatever, they determine how factors of production are to be owned or operated or controlled. Okay? Fascism is about individuals.
Especially traditional politics.
But you just become and you think you have to and you follow it or arato imagine abuna ndia mungabele mfonda kwa vile mamkatia wabi wina takambezo hiba mumuka amina kambezo hiba zao it's when they have just grown to be believed because our Jamani Angakisima plan. So whatever they propose, kudia kulima choice muzikadira. Ako zabuza kuti muzija kama muzipati kumakomera. Kunale na Hitler, na Stalin, and these people came up and they became fascists. They created a fascist kind of system, and they followed them religiously. They were following them, and this they were called. Because of Sika Runogo, and traditional mafumu hawa, wale mafumu yena, and to science and to chose ya that creates the ownership and control of means of production. Control of means of production, you makara mamu. Because he can command you to do anything. Now, all these in economics, what we believe in is that you have certain things are in there. Muribe pure. Then there is also what we call knowledge system. This knowledge system, I've talked about traditional system. There is also what we call knowledge. This knowledge is a socialist. It's very similar to socialism, but it has its own way of doing things. This system is found in Nordic countries. So this system is found in Denmark, Sweden, Norway, mainly, and Finland, a little bit of Finland. So these are, if you have heard, these are what we call Nordic countries. The Nordic system, economic system, is such that they allow both the government and the private sector to own and control the factors of production, the means for production. But government takes all the aims and redistributes. So you can have a company, you make profit, government takes almost all of it and gives to the poor or to those who are unfortunate. Remember socialism, one of the things I said was that socialism is about making sure there is equity. But I told you that socialism is about equity. Put it and Pasakari and also and also education and social amenities are provided to everybody. That's about socialism. But you allow private sector also to come in. The way the Nordic system is, they attack that waste and redistribute. Okay? Now, remember, the factors of production, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Whatever. Very nice, but I have been over. And all that is entrepreneurship. They know this system. You can control this. No problem. So, area rate, labor wages, capital interest, entrepreneurship profit. And these four factors are paid like this. Now, you are an entrepreneur. Whatever you do, you have money, whatever. The knowledge system, if these things are in private sector, they come and tax you heavily. So they can give the revenue distributed to others. So the minimum tax, for example, in Denmark, is 48%. From your ugama via chito, kudu pay. Minimum tax on your salary is 48%. They almost take half of your salary. Okay? That's minimum tax. What I'm telling you is in a way there, and I cried to see my half of my salary at home. Amene akurambia dama zambiri, those who are highly paid. So tax yao is 48% to 72%. Those who get a lot of money, 72% of that money is not paid. It just goes to government. So if you make a profit, you have a company and you have made a profit of 100 million kwacha, they will take away 72 million kwacha and leave you with 28. But because it's some kind of socialist model, they will provide you with anything you want in life. All private doctors are paid by government. You just go there. So you have private doctors, my specialist, but you don't pay. Ukapita kumele kuja akuona ama bill government. They send a bill to government. Akulembera prescription upite ku pharmacy. That pharmacy is owned by private sector. When you take that prescription, upite ku pharmacy kuja ukangotenga manufaa. A pharmacy aja, they will claim from government. You see how the system works. Chine kitu cha private, you don't pay. Yeye wa private uja akashika claim kubona. Kumaka Mungu anyoraso tax. Okay? So they are trying to make sure everybody has a good life. So whatever you earn, even though you control your labor, you can go and work anywhere and get a salary. Unlike communism, where you cannot go and work for a salary. You see the difference? You cannot go and work for a salary. Nordic system, socialist system, Nordic countries, you can go and work for a company, a salary, but but you don't mind because, for example, I was complaining, but everybody was saying, Winston, why are you complaining? Because many people, my daycare, zote zaulele. Mwana watu wa wote wangobadwa kumeni. The next will come and have kumam sabisa mwana kucha. Until wapane 3 months. Ama kwenda daily. Kumansu mwana aliyesa kangobadwa kumaranja sana. Kulipe zote ni mwana wa mkole mira. Kapela ni mwana wa mkole sauka. Aliyesa maranja sana. Makoro salary imapita kwa makoro. Equivalent, I'm not so sure now. I'm not so sure now, but how many, because ananga na kurasu. Command, how many links there? Lisira equivalent to which is 6,000 rand kuno. Okay, 6,000 equivalent of 6,000 rand every 3 months. I'm a very quarter. Okay, and I'm a very good until mwana yakale zaka 18 amamba kumaranjira yenka. But for you to raise that kid, and it's not because amanena kuti weyo akupasa chifayo kuti mwanayo ndio makolo ndio sawa. But the kids are also entitled to government support because they are, as long as they are born there, they are dense. They are dense because maiko ena mungu kabadilwa wao amati ndi wao. Whether iweyo maparents achokera kwina doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Zipadana, chimuzimozi. Ali amakandi, specialist. Anyway, let me not explain all that because it's a wrong thing. But what I want to say is, you get a lot of service for that high tax. Transport is so yaboma. So these are different, but the issue is about, in favor of the economy, the issue is about the factors of production. Factors of production. But in I like this knowledge system, and that is why if you go on the internet and Google happiness index for the world, you will find the countries are amongst the top 10 happiest people in the world. They are among the top 10 happiest people in the world. Because everything is taken care of them. Among the Musongo family, you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry what if you get hired by Chido, government pays you 90% of the previous salary you had for 2 years. If you don't find another job for those 2 years, and go forward and look for a job because so people they don't feel to be degraded. So even though the government is looking after them, you get 90% of your previous job in many years time. You just report to the name jobless. They will, and so system yao ndio tazama national ID yao ama kind information. That's why my children cannot come here. Of course, the amount is rich. Okay, so I sometimes feel as if they are almost there. I know they can't. Because the home is so nice that side than here. Okay, so according to how you move it? 5 minutes. You both what are 20 minutes? Madoba. So, capitalism. What are the problems with capitalism? If you were to criticize, I'm a one that capitalism is the best. Okay? Because it's all of it responds to human nature. Commanding a name about one of the things that I say. What is the problem with capitalism? What criticism can you give?
I think over time, private tends to have control of the government.
Okay, yeah. You can develop some certain people who can become so powerful that they can even influence things like the government. Yeah. The major one is to me, is that capitalism doesn't care about people who are poor. Those who have no skills. Okay? Amene simu na kuzile skill ina yote. You cannot get a well-paid job. Right? Amena kuzila wino alima skills they get rewarded. Those who haven't developed any skills, you find them basa mavira chitu wanzao. It doesn't take care of people who have no skills. Right? Because some people cannot be able to earn a living. So how do you deal with them? Capitalism doesn't take care of them. People who cannot earn a living on their own. And secondly, in capitalism, there is an opportunity for corruption. This is the one. In capitalism, there is opportunities for corruption. And I think that's what you were saying, that you can be broke. There can be some guys who have become so rich because capitalism allows them, and they can even start corrupting a government or controlling a government. So that the government does things which are local war. Okay, let's continue. What else? One obvious thing is that it is an unfair system. It doesn't care about you alindika wiki ni takaka timtanize. It puts you all with that. You know, I don't know whether you issue about fairness and equity. Equity is not the same as equality, right? So we're talking about equity, fairness. So, for example, capitalism, let's say you put a degree, okay, maybe they would put a degree Somali. Okay? In Ayo, the government can give me the care to enable me go and catch that thing. I will drive there and be able to touch. Who is very short in here? Come on, don't be funny. I'm on somebody else, somebody else put it up or about okay? Now, it will not be equitable. boma litipate mipango mofanana. If they are going to use equality, put allies and bottom family really George that would be equality. But in this case of making sure we all have access to the mango for us all to have access to that mango, we don't want to that George, we don't want that. Government wants us all to have access to that mango. If it gives us the same stepping stone, we now look at it. We now are putting a stepping see what I mean? So capitalism doesn't care about what you want to facilitate time, who you facilitate food. They will just say, okay, some certain conditions is the same. You all have access to the market. From access and to the capabilities of Siana, Murindima skills of Siana. So it doesn't care about that. Why capitalism has a problem? Because Maramuro, next week we will talk about how can government intervene in the market. Okay? And another thing is what you say. And Vandarama, those who become rich in a capitalist system, they form lobby groups which are so powerful, and sometimes parliament can make laws in their favor. Because they are very rich. In real life, to conclude, in real life, what we have is mixed economic system. That's in real life. Even in America, where they think they have capitalism, even in the UK, where they think they have capitalism pure, you still have company government. Any economy where you have a company government, then you are a mixed economy. We're not going to. Yeah. Is mixed economy similar to socialism? Not really, because socialism makes a deliberate attempt to achieve social justice. A deliberate attempt, just like the Nordic system. It's a socialist. But they have modified it in such a way that they allow private sector to thrive, but cut the enemy. You can only factor the production, but so you can only own labor. Wherever Chino, Abungwa, Jura, Kabasa. Okay, so socialism, there is an attempt to create equality and social justice. Mixed economy, in terms of ownership and control, you can find about being socialist. Okay? Yeah. But there is no deliberate attempt to permit from the economy about to eliminate inequality and another thing. You can have government intervention. Okay? From I didn't know the Jesus was you are fine. He is stronger than you, fine. Let him be stronger than you. Nobody will come in and say, yeah. It's a mixed economy. and mixed economy is what is obtainable. In real life, Zina is theory chatting. Okay? What we have been saying, all those economic systems, these are theoretical concepts. These are just concepts. Concepts of economic system. Even when we say there are traditional systems, those are just concepts. In real life, as I said, Muma Pesika Botimu system, many ways are describing when mixed. When mixed, system we makan mixed, in real life. So, for example, you can say for China, they are communists. They are using communism. Because up to now, it's the Communist Party of China which is the ruling. From their caricatures, they have never changed. The Communist Party of China is forming the government. Albemarle Party. Okay? It's a communist country. But the way they have changed to incorporate capitalism, it has really brought tremendous advancement in China. How they deal, I haven't studied very well in terms of how they deal with the poor people. But in China now, there are less poor people than ever before. They have advanced so big. So the issue about command market is okay. Let's switch. I say, American family, my paper are in Italy. Masuk Gracias.